where the sewage goes, and then we pump it in a lift station and send it to the village. Well, what happens is, Hamiltonian Park has got the oldest lines of the two subdivisions. These lines are old and decrepit and cracked and holes in them. So when the water table, when you have lots and lots and lots of rain, and the groundwater comes up, to where you see water sitting in your yards and things like that, well, the groundwater's coming up in these lines, and what it does, it's got hydraulic pressure. And it goes into these holes and cracks in the sewer pipes. And that's called infiltration. And we have a lot of that. And last summer was wet. We've had a wet winter, wet spring so far. The other one is what you call inflow. And that's where people might have a roof drain of gutters, goes down the downspout, and sometime in the past, and rather than going out into the yard and going out of downspout, they hooked it into the sanitary sewer. And it goes out into the sanitary sewer, and all that water is being charged against the subdivision as sewage. Those two things. In Hamiltonian Park, you're running about 70% I&I. So for each gallon of sewage, real sewage, you're spending money on about 2 gallons of water. That's why we did the I&I study. That's how serious the problem is based on the age of your infrastructure. It has that many holes. Now, I sent out a letter, a notice in the bills, and it says, notice the residents. This is a reminder that connecting sump pumps, extraneous stormwater collection systems, roof gutters, and so forth to the sanitary sewer system violates town code. Every gallon of sewage goes through a meter and is charged to the sewer district accordingly. And so we're working now with, we do know who has got roof drains to the sewer, and every 2 days I'm getting a report back from Mark Warren, where does it stand? They've got to be disconnected. Got to be disconnected. Okay? Well, we don't know sump pumps. Sump pumps can be, I mean, that's something inside your home, and we don't know if you've got a sump pump connected or not. But driveway drains, yard drains, gutters, sump pumps, if they go into sanitary sewer, they're costing you and your fellow citizens a lot of money. And that would be considered inflow. So we're going to be working with Mr. Klopshin and Mark Warren to work with the citizens to be as honest and forthright as you can do, to work with us to disconnect those, okay? So that you're not going to be paying for all this water. Now, even with the inflow being disconnected, there's a lot of the other eye, the infiltration, because of the age of your system. So I say all that because that's now, we've got a situation where we're talking about, well, I'll get down to it a little bit later, my history on this. But in 2008, when we got the village sewer charges, we were surprised. We were told to budget for 2008 for Hamiltonian Park. We were told to collect $115,000. And we set the rates accordingly. We had one of these meetings with you all, said, here's the rate, and that will yield $115,000 to pay the sewer bill. But when the sewer bill came in, it was $154,000, or almost 34%, a third higher. And we said, well, what's this? How come? And then we looked at Arcadia Hills, and we were told to collect $162,000. But when the bill came in, it was $217,372. And here, too, it's 34.18% higher than we collected. And so we started asking questions. And right off the bat, you know, unless people are in the sewer business, they don't know. So we got our town accountant and our engineer to talk to the village look at the books, whatever it was, foiled for information, to find out what is going on. And we did that in February 2009. And the engineer and the accountant came back to us and said, yes, you're being overcharged. And they went through, it was a verbal thing, they went through all these things where they thought we were being overcharged somewhat. And so we continued working on this. I said, you know what, enough is enough. I'm going to write a letter, got the permission of the board. I wrote a letter to the state comptroller's office and said, I want the state of New York to do an audit of the village financial records regarding their sewer operation. And while they're at it, they can come to the town of Goshen and audit our books. Because I wanted to find out if there was something wrong with our books. Well, they came in and they met with us and they did the audit. They went to the village. I don't know, they did their thing, but they've not concluded that audit yet. And with all the things going on in the state of New York when it comes to finances, I'm not holding my breath that they're going to come around anytime soon with the answers. But we did that just to clear the air, so to know who's charging us for what. Another thing we did is we established a contract negotiating team. And the negotiating team was my counterpart in water and sewer, Ken Newbold, who lives in the town. Lou Capella, who lives in the town. And our town attorney. Now, these two fellows live in the village. And I didn't want to put them on the hot seat for conflict of interest or anything else if they live in the village. So we used two town people. Okay? And they met several times with the village, trying to negotiate a new contract. Our contract with the village for sewer, use of their sewer plant, the one for Hamiltonian Park is expired. The one for Arcadia Hills is still in use. The same one. It's 51 years old. Any contract that's 51 years old, it just needs to be updated. And that's what we wanted to do. The village, they charge their people based on water consumption. They don't base it on sewer generated. If you go back to the I&I issue, 1 gallon of sewage, 2 gallons of water in Hamiltonian Park. You take the same person in the village, they're going to be paying less. So we want a new contract. And right now, the village says no, they don't want to negotiate anymore. We can't make them negotiate. During this negotiating time, we were in what they call a discovery process. We were trying to discover as much information about water and sewer operations as we possibly could. And I have to acknowledge Lou Capella. Lou is dogging on this thing. He foiled the county, he foiled this, he did this, he did all kinds of things. And Lou is keen with numbers. And he's the one who really brought this cost of this infiltration and quantified it for the board. Okay? So, we've been in the discovery process, so we could better represent you on our negotiation. Another thing we've done in this past year, as I've told you, the infrastructure, your lines, your pumps, your manholes are in difficult shape. I mean, they're decayed, deteriorating. And Ken just reminded me when he and I were talking to Congressman Hall. This is a nationwide problem. This is not one that's unique to your two subdivisions. Most subdivisions were built following the Second World War. And I think the first one was down on Long Island. When all the soldiers came back from the Second World War, they had Levittown, thank you. They wanted a home, and they wanted a job, and they wanted to raise a family. And so they were all built at the same time. And so as a consequence, we're not unique. Our subdivisions, the two we're talking about, their sewer system is not unique. you can put in line with so many others. But what we've done, and we've done this on 2 occasions, we've applied for federal stimulus money to replace your sewer systems in Hamiltonian Park and Arcade.